fall on leadership, but culture is the glue that keeps organizations going. So Cesar, your experience in terms of working with organizational cultures, toxicity in the workplace, cultural and structural biases, what do you believe are the most significant barriers that women face in reaching leadership positions? And how can organizations proactively guide this process?
Firstly, I want to make a disclaimer. I am the anti-toxic workplace expert. So, firstly, let's go back to understanding what that means, right? Let's go back to unpacking exactly the stuff that we speak in the fluff where we say the cultural toxicities that happen. We need to start understanding what toxicity is. We need to start understanding what brews it, how it manifests, how it turns out, right? Because when we speak about breaking barriers and we speak about forging forward, if we leave it unattended and we start being fluffy around it or sugarcoat it to a certain extent that it does not exist, we are not going to break boundaries and we are not going to break the barriers. The barriers are created by years and years of we've been doing things like this. Let me take you a little bit back. If you remember in 2020, 2029, we were happy with just getting that pizza and the outing, correct? We were happy with just getting the pizza and the outing and the boss loved us and we were excited. Post 2020, post the pandemic, a new pandemic came through. The word toxic came in the room. And we started realizing that people are now sensitized to certain things that historically were not recognized. And now people were quite mindful about their wellness. And people were quite very sharp about this I want, this I don't want. So in this space, when we talk about breaking of the barriers, we're not going to do it in isolation without really realizing that barriers are created by human beings. On the 21st of March, we celebrate Human Rights Day. So barriers are created by the very same human beings that are meant to be allies for one another. So how do we make sure that we still continue to advance forward? And I like that Farai mentioned the sponsorship and the mentorship, because I've been boggling with that idea. To say we often think mentorship is enough, but having a sister sponsor or a sister that advocates or speaks your name in rooms that you haven't entered is one thing that is going to get us forward. But you know where the problem is? I often say, if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. If you are the smartest leader in your organization, you are in the wrong organization, because you have reached the ceiling of what you can absorb. You have reached the ceiling of what you can learn more. I always say, I had a boss that used to say, I fetch you every time I change a role. And I asked him one day, why do you fetch me? He said, because as a leader, I do not always want to work hard. Some of the things I do not know, so I allow the next person that knows them better to do the job. So for us to steward forward, organizations need to understand something. Let's be more open to new information. Let's be more open to different and diverse people, because when you have diverse thinking, you actually can solve historical challenges, because everybody in the room deserves to be in that room. I used to think that, toxicity happens in the lower roles, until I realized the higher you go, the more harder it gets. Correct? Yeah. The higher you go, the more harder it gets. I don't know if it's a gatekeeping issue, but it's something that organizations need to discuss it openly. We start feeling intimidated by people who are smarter than us. Then it means when you die, what legacy are you leaving? We are not here to leave a legacy of that one person was great. We are here to leave the legacy of that one person made great people. That one person made sure. Thank you. That one person made sure that everybody in the room is included and everybody in the room deserves to be in that room. So let's break barriers together by being human. This week, let's start understanding what it means to be human to the next person. And then we'll see how that will change the dynamics of how we exist in corporate. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much. Shamla, from a